Welcome to This Week in Cord Cutting number 6, a show where I give you my personal opinion on what I think are the biggest stories and what are likely to be the most important stories going forward in the world of cord cutting. This is my point of view and my personal opinions on some of the greatest news stories. If you want the straight news, check out cordcuttersnews.com. I'll link to it down below for a daily look every day, multiple stories a day on the world of cord cutting. So let's dive into some of the stories I view as the most important this week. Number 1 is locals on live TV streaming. This week, a ton of locals have been added to live TV streaming services. Hulu added 23, DirecTV Now added 10, and Fubo TV added a handful. In the world of live TV streaming, it seems like every week more and more locals are coming faster and faster. And it's probably my prediction I made earlier this year that by end of 2019, most locals will be streaming on at least one or more streaming services is probably going to come true. It's increasingly looking more certain that that will happen. Now, that doesn't mean every service will have every local, but increasingly, if you can't get locals, you may have one or more options to stream them. Now, that doesn't mean everybody will do it. Sling TV seems pretty convinced, and I think it's a good move for them to offer a cheap, low option without locals for people with antennas. And for many cord cutters, you can put up an antenna, get great HD images 100% free. And Sling TV can say, hey, you know, 20 bucks, 25 bucks, when many of their competitors are moving up to 39, 40 bucks on their pricing. So that's not a bad idea. But on the flip side, when I became a cord cutter, I didn't live here. I lived in another town that was 60 miles from the nearest transmitter. We lived in a valley, and we had no over-the-air TV. No PBS, no shopping networks, no religious networks. We had no over-the-air TV at all. It sucked. But we found workaways. Back then it was Hulu for next day. We found the live TV streaming services like NewsOn for the ability to watch my local news. So there was options out there. But the good news is for people like that, about a year from now, I suspect that most of you will be able to get one or more locals. So let's dive into the next story. And this is something I've talked about since I launched the site. One of my early stories was about not renting modems. And especially if you're a cable subscriber, because you can buy your own. Well, now Comcast is making it even an easier decision to buy a modem. They're raising the rental price of their Comcast cable modems to $11 a month. That adds up to $132 a year, and over the course of 3 years, $396. Right now, you can buy a good modem on Comcast or on Amazon for Comcast for about 100 bucks. And I was looking at one from Netgear with a max download speed of 960 down DOCSIS 3.0 for $89.99. With that modem, you could go and get 3 years of Amazon Prime Video. You can get almost 3 years of Netflix with the savings from not renting a modem. That's a great deal right there. Honestly, if you're renting a modem, and you're, especially if it's a cable company, I would highly recommend you try to buy your own. It is well worth the investment, and it is going to save you a ton of money. Now, not all modems are the same. Some modems cost about 50 bucks, and generally they don't offer the same download support. So a 50-buck modem may only give you 300 down, or a 100-buck modem may give you a gigabyte down. The list goes on and on. Comcast does have a website where you can log in or enter your internet speed information, and they will recommend modems to you that will meet your the speeds you're paying for. I linked to that in my story on cordcuttersnews.com. In the show notes, I have all the stories we talked about today. There is a number 2 right there. Click on that at the bottom of that story. You can go find that link to their website. Highly, highly recommend. Save that money. Don't be paying $396 every 3 years on renting a modem. Next up, this is something I get asked about all the time. If you watch our weekly Q&As or our forums, I get emails and Facebook messages. When is the DirecTV Now DVR coming out? Well, it's increasingly looking like 2018. A few months ago, I ran a story. The CFO kind of hinted at that. The way he was talking about it, it pretty much sounded like 2018. Well, this week, they announced that DirecTV Now has hit 1 million subscribers, and they announced a bunch of features that are coming in 2018. And this list included Download and Go. It sounds like you'll be able to download your DVR shows, watch them offline on planes and so forth. That's a pretty cool feature. 4K video, We knew that was coming. Now it sounds like 2018. Increased on-demand lineup. Individual profiles, so kind of like what YouTube and Hulu does, so that you can have one profile with your favorites and not see the favorites of your kids or your spouse. And more concurrent streams, where currently you're limited to, it sounds like they're trying to get up to 3 or 4 maybe. One of the things that were on that list, it was actually the first item on that list, was a DVR. According to them, a cloud DVR to record your shows will come out in 2018 according to this list. So keep that in mind. They could drop it tomorrow. It's increasingly looking unlikely. They have announced that no new devices are coming, though they're now hinting that Roku will get a beta at some time in the future. They're still inviting people as of last week to the DirecTV Now DVR beta. They could drop it maybe way at the end of this month. I'm increasingly looking at January. I think CES may be a time where they announce it and it goes live in January. I'd be shocked if by the end of January it's not out, but that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Next up, Disney and Fox are in talks to sell most of Fox to Disney. We've talked about this in the past. Some new details have come out. So basically, Disney's looking at buying most of Fox, which will include 21st Century Fox, the TV production studios, the movie studios, the back catalog. So The Simpsons may be a Disney-owned, Family Guy may be a Disney-owned show. Fox reportedly, in order to compete with cord cutting, they've kind of said, we want to do a couple things really well. We want to do news, we want to do sports, and we're going to just become the best at that. We're also going to have over-there broadcast television show networks. We're going to keep our stations. But the TV production, the movie production, we're going to sell that off. Disney is, by all accounts, the current leader in the talks to buy it. But there's a little wrinkle that came up this week. Fox has always said, according to all reports, that they want to keep their sports. Well, now Disney says they want to buy Fox regional sports networks, the Fox Sports Detroit, Midwest, etc. Makes sense. They want to partner with ESPN, who is, still the leader in the world of sports, and that doesn't have a regional sports network. So it makes sense on Disney. Fox, this could be a speed bump. Will Fox be willing to sell that off and still keep Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2, college sports, etc.? Or will Fox walk away? There's talks that everybody from Sony to all kinds of other companies are interested in buying parts of Fox. So we'll wait and see. It is also reported that Comcast, so Fox owns part of the Sky Network in the UK, that Comcast wants to buy a minority stake. Fox may maintain a majority stake. Comcast will buy like 30-some% of it roughly. It'll be interesting to see what happens. If they include the regional sports networks, I think this would be a much harder deal to get past regulatory concerns. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But keep an eye on that story. I think there's a lot of interesting parts happening with it that, it would be a massive change in the world of broadcast TV and movies and TVs for Fox to say, with cord cutting, we're moving to live because we feel that's the most cord cutting resistant department, and I think they're probably right with that. Next up, live TV streaming services. USB, which the investment bank has come out and said by the end of 2020, they expect 15 million subscribers to subscribe to a live TV streaming service. Currently, depending on who you talk to, there's 4 to 5 million. Not all these services disclose all their numbers, so it'll be interesting to see. It's very reasonable that 15 million may happen. At best we can tell, we're getting close to 25 million cord cutters, cord nevers. The real shock here may be only about 4 million currently subscribed to a live TV service. So a majority of cord cutters have said, we don't need a live TV streaming service. But I suspect as more people cancel traditional cable, that live TV streaming services will continue to grow because it's very familiar to what you're used to. It's the same experience, and it brings you sports and news, which a lot of people want. So keep that in mind, that out there that's we're probably going to see an explosion in the next couple years of live TV streaming services. Why is that important? As cord cutting grows, more channels, more people are willing to invest in it, bring their content to cord cutting, launch cord cutting friendly services because there's a bigger base of people to subscribe to it. There's more money there. And so the good thing for cord cutters, as cord cutting grows, you'll likely get more options. And it'll bring us closer and closer to the possibility of an a la carte TV. So we need cord cutting to grow. If you want a la carte TV, hope cord cutting grows, because as it grows, that puts pressure to get us the features and the a la carte TV, the live TV streaming services we want, smaller bundles, etc. So keep an eye on that. I think it's happening. I think we're getting close to a point where cord cutting is peaking. I think we're about to start rolling downhill, where the growth rate of cord cutting is just going to skyrocket in 2018, especially in 2019 and into 2020. Everything I hear by 2020 to 2025, somewhere in there, we'll hit a point where cable TV as is now will not be around anymore. I don't think cable TV is ever going to go away. I think they're going to become a premium service, but I think we're getting to a point where a major inflection point is going to happen in the world of traditional pay TV. We're not there yet. We're moving in that direction. All right, so that's the story today. One deal though, I do want to throw out this great deal. Right now, if you love music and you love to read, Amazon has some great deals for you. 30% off of Kindle Unlimited. So if you like to read books and like Kindle, they're pretty much on every device now has a Kindle app. You can get a year subscription to Kindle Unlimited for 30% off, a great deal. Or you pick one or the other. You can get 3 months of Amazon Music Unlimited. So pretty much everything on Amazon music-wise for 99 cents, 3 months. That's a great deal. Even if you subscribe to a different streaming service, hey, maybe it's time to give Amazon Music Unlimited a try. Again, I'm recording this on December 8th. I'll post today. These deals are limited time deals, so if you're watching this a week from now, these deals might be over, but I'll put them in the show notes. Check it out. I use both of these services. Highly recommend them. They both work great, and I've been very pleased. So check them out. I'll put them in the show notes. All of these stories you can find in the show notes. If you have a cord cutting question, you can find our Facebook tech support group. Look for Cord Cutting Tech Support as a Facebook group. You'll find our guy cutting the coaxial cable. You find a description that says it's owned by Cord Cutters News LLC. Subscribe there. Almost 30,000 people answering cord cutting questions. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we answer your cord cutting questions every week right here on YouTube for about an hour at 8 p.m. Eastern. I am live trying to answer your cord cutting questions, helping you get the most out of the cord cutting experience. If you like this show, check out for more news, tips, tricks, reviews. Every week we post new videos here and on cordcuttersnews.com. Please subscribe, hit that thumbs up. We would really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.